The Bible has tens of thousands of contradictions, like how Ezekiel says, a son is not to suffer because of his father's sins, nor a father because of the sins of his son. A good man will be rewarded for doing good, and an evil man will suffer for the evil he does. In other words, people should be held responsible for their own actions, and not the actions of other people who they happen to be related to. But then God contradicts his own rule in Exodus by promising to punish the children and children's children to the third and fourth generation of those who sin. So God punishes you because your great-great-great-great-grandfather ate one piece of shrimp.
Exodus 20, Israel just got the 10 Commandments, and God is essentially warning them of the generational effects that sin has. In Ezekiel 18, even though it was written almost 900 years later after Exodus, we're getting a different aspect of sin. So essentially the point being highlighted here is that God's final judgment is always personal. So each soul answers for his own sin, not for the choices of others. Sin has real-world consequences and can touch generations. No one is condemned for eternity for what their ancestors did. Each person can choose life and repent through faith. So again, the focus here in Exodus is that God is highlighting the social and cultural impact of sin and how patterns can affect generations. He warns that sin can leave scars, which can be seen for generations. So it's certainly much more profound and much deeper than eating shrimp or something like that, which the gentleman earlier pointed out. So in a modern sense, this would be sort of like drug addiction, alcoholism, sexual and verbal abuse, things like that, highlighting how those sort of sins can affect generations to come. So we see in Exodus it's highlighted that sin can have real-life damage to generations. Sin doesn't just affect the individual, but in Ezekiel it's highlighted that the individual is ultimately judged for their own personal sin.